What's up guys, and welcome back to another video for me, and today is going to be something a little bit different to the usual videos I've been doing as of late. This is going to be a showcase. This is something that you guys have been asking. I've had quite a few comments about this, so I thought I'd do a video, and we'll take a look at the build and the tuning aspect of Forza Horizon 2. Now, first of all, the physics on Forza Horizon 2, they are greatly improved from Forza Horizon 1. They're a lot more, I'll say, realistic. They use the Forza 5 handling physics, but it is dumbed down to a certain degree, so it's not as accurate or as responsive as the Forza 5 ones are. The prime example of this is if you go into Forza 5 and you buy a Hennessy Venom and you add all the upgrade parts to it, and then you try and take it on track and you try and drive it in a straight line, you will have issues. It is quite hard to control that car anyway, whereas on this, if you buy a Hennessy Venom, add all the control, all the upgrades, it is still hard to control, but it's a damn sight easier than it is in Forza 5. And that goes for most cars. Most cars are quite, I'll say, easier. They're easy to drive with a lot more power in them. The back end steps out, it's a bit more controllable, and it's not as realistic as Forza 5, but that's not a bad thing for this, because this game isn't. Is he going to hit me? No. It's not a bad thing, because for this game it's quite enjoyable to be able to drive any car and be able to control it straight away. So we're at the Forza Horizon main hub anyway. We'll enter the garage, and we'll go over some of the build stuff and the upgrades. And that woman calling me dude all the time does really annoy me. I wish I knew how to turn her off, because I'd just turn her off permanently. Anyway, we're going to custom upgrades. Now, on Forza 5, I strongly advise you do all the platform and handling upgrades, tyres, aero, and then add the power afterwards. Now, with Forza Horizon 2, I haven't got many cars where I don't add everything. I kind of don't go to the classes on this. I just like to have a car with lots of power, and most of my cars are in the S2 class. There are the odd ones that are in S1 and A class, but I don't think I've got anything that's tuned or built below A class, just because I like this, probably like you guys, you just like your cars to have lots and lots of power, and they sound a lot better. So this is the 2014 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Rear-wheel drive, front engines. So we're just going to go over a few of these now, and we'll see what we do. So we'll add this is A class anyway, so as soon as you put the tyres on, it adds like 43 PI, and you're already in S1 class. So this is going to be an S2 class car again. All the cars that you want to drive, all the fun ones, all the supercars, the hypercars, the fast cars, they're all going to end in S1 and S2 class, unless you drive them stock. So we'll stick the race tyre compound on, and we'll do what we usually do and upgrade the tyre widths for them. And you can see, even just by doing that, the amount of PI you get from it, we're already halfway through S1 class. So before we do anything else at all, the amount of PI you get for tyres on this does seem to boost it up quite a lot, hence why a lot of my cars are S2 class. Platform when handling, we'll do what we normally do and add all of this. So there you go, weight loss, and we're nearly in S2 class with just tyres and weight loss. So we'll go through quickly and do the rest of these just to improve the handling. Now, you don't necessarily need to do all the handling upgrades, depending on what sort of car you're going to build. It isn't so much race orientated or I say circuit race orientated as Forza is, and you can get away with not adding a lot of these parts, but I like to add them anyway because it gives you adjustable options. I'm still running manual with clutch on this, so we won't add the clutch. We will add the gearbox. That puts us into S2 class, and drive line as well, and we'll do the differential. So there's a lot of adjustable parts in there now, so we can use the tuning options. Aero, again with Forza 5, I'd highly recommend you put aero on your cars once they're above A class, maybe S class definitely, but A class, yeah, put A class and above, use your aero. But on this you can get away with it. Again, you don't need AERO on your car. It's not that much grip orientated at all. So on this one we're going to go without any AERO whatsoever, and we'll just keep the car stuck and we'll see how that works out. We can always come back and put it back on later if you want to. So we've done that, so now we can get onto power. So drivetrain swap. Again, you get a bit more PI for switching to all-wheel drive, but we're not going to stick it rear-wheel drive because most of the comments I've had in my videos have been about rear-wheel drive cars, so we'll stick with that. Again, engine aspiration conversions add a little bit of PI. I mean, as normal, the turbos give you a lot more power than the superchargers do, but also give you more PI. So we'll go with the superchargers because it's a bit more of an even spread of torque as opposed to a big peak bit at the start. And then on engine upgrades, we'll do a race supercharger. Add that in 936. So now to get up to S2 class, to S2 class, we're probably going to have to add most of these in anyway. So it happens a lot with a lot of the cars I use. You tend to have to end up sticking a lot of power in there just to get it up to the top of its class that you want to after you've added all the handling upgrades in. Let's go and add these in. So this might not even make it up to, did that one? Yeah, might not even make it up to the top of S2 class. 948. Now I don't do a lot of rivals times on this either, so classes, I pretty much build the cars to enjoy driving around with friends and just obviously doing videos and stuff like that. A lot of the videos I've done so far haven't been with class specific cars opposed from the Subaru. That was the only one that I built it up to a certain class. You see 953. Again, in this I don't add intercooler or the other one, oil and cooling I think it is, if it's available, because they add more weight than power. We'll go through these now. I think that's everything. So we'll just take it out and we'll take it for a little spin and see how she handles without any tuning, just with all the upgrades. Does sound very nice. And again, we get a bit of wheel spin. You can see straight away, back end it doesn't step out as much as it would do in Forza 5, and it just seems a lot more controllable. Pass these on the outside. So we've got no AERO on this, no tuning whatsoever, and to be honest, I know we're on a fast section here, it's getting a bit light on that fast bit, but it doesn't seem undrivable at all. So a lot of the handling upgrades that you would normally add, you don't tend to need them in this. Handling isn't such a big factor on Forza Horizon 2, it's more power. And power is good, everybody likes to have lots and lots of power. So what we'll do now is we should just stop and we shall go on to the tuning. So another thing I've been asked is a base tune for a rear-wheel drive car. So I'm going to try and explain to you how I set it up. This might be different for a few other people, so if it is, feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know what you do. So we'll start off with tyres. As a base tune, you drop these down by 2. It's usually what I do in Forza 5 as well, just to get a rough feel. You can reduce the rear a little bit more if you want to try and make it a little bit more grippier, but 28. Gearing, now what I do with the gears is, final drive I don't usually switch to start off with. First gear, you see the dotted lines on the graph, I usually move that up to just between the second and the third dotted line, and then it's just a case of spacing these out pretty evenly, just so it makes a nice flow to it. This one's got 7 gears, which makes it a little bit easier. So you can see there, all the way up to 253 now. I doubt we'll ever get into 7th gear. If we do, we won't use all of it. But that's pretty much how I do it. And then what you can do is you can do and test it again, and then move the final drive. So you keep that spread between the gears, but you just move it more for acceleration or more for speed. Alignment, I usually boost this up to around 2.1 and rear to around 1.8. Rear toe, depending on how much power you got in your car, which after the build we've just done probably will be quite a lot. I usually put that as 2. Front toe, I'll leave it as 0, but you can put it as 0.1 if you want, just to get the turn in a little bit better. And caster angle for a base, I usually do about 6.1. Anti-roll bars. Now you can see there's quite a big difference between front and rear, and that will be to do with obviously the weight distribution of the car. What I usually do sometimes is either I either lower them a little bit or I raise them a little bit, but try and keep that difference between front and rear about the same. So we'll try to soften them first. Springs, you can see there's more rear spring than there is front, so that'll probably aid with the turn in a little bit. And what we'll do is we'll just soften this up a little bit because there's a lot more off-roading sections on Forza Horizon 2. So we will try and use our springs a little bit better. On Forza 5 the tracks are pretty much flat and quite level, so you don't get any massive gradient changes like hills or anything all of a sudden like you do when you're driving across a golf course in this. So pretty much so we'll just soften it up a little bit, and maybe just bump the ride height up just for the off-road sections. Damping, and you can see what I'm going to do here is just move the rear down a little bit. No, actually, sorry, we'll leave that as 9.3. We'll just soften it up by about 1, front and rear. So we've gone from 9.2 to 8.2 and 9.3 to 8.3. And then bump, we'll drop that down by 2 to around 5, and then we'll drop that down just a little bit more, so it's 0.5 behind the front. AERO we can't do anything with because we didn't change it. Braking, I usually use it around, on this it's about 55% I find works for me. It's a bit more than Forza 5, but as I say, that works for me, but this is something that you guys can check out. And the pressure is about 109. Differential, as a base, I usually do it at about 60% and about 50%, and we'll apply that and we'll see how it feels now. So you can see the back does still want to go slightly, but with the amount of power we got and the fact that I was fully on the gas thing coming out of that corner, it doesn't compare to Forza 5. Forza 5 you would lose the back end a lot more. So the physics, let me hit that wall. The physics and the cars are a lot more forgiving in this. I mean, no AERO, flat out around this corner. AEROs make a difference there on the fast corners. So it depends what sort of track you want to do, or if you want that extra bit of grip. I mean, in this we could quite easily put the AERO on it, because we're not the top of F2 class, so it wouldn't really make much difference anyway. Just probably knock our top speed down a little bit, but overall, we'll go right here. Yeah, overall, it still wouldn't be top of the class. So, as I'd say, probably most of you, if you're doing races, either single player or with your friends, you probably just build and drive cars that you enjoy, as opposed to ones that are being competitive, where it's completely the opposite way round for Forza 5. People build cars that are competitive, whereas this is a lot more fun-based and fun-orientated. So yeah, build-wise, I personally just add lots and lots of power. Sorry. I add lots and lots of power just to make the car a bit more interesting to drive, and then tuning wise I don't do a lot to it. Obviously there's going to be the base setup for a rear wheel drive car, so you guys can try that out. Let me know what you think and how it works out for you. Hopefully we'll just park a bit next to this Ferrari. Yeah, this is a good place to stop. A nice view of the trees there, and a beautiful car with a big dent in it. But yeah, that's just the base tune and the base setup for what I do for my rear-wheel drive cars. I know a few of you guys asked, so I thought I'd do a little quick video on it. If I've missed anything out, or you guys have got any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And I'm hoping you're all enjoying the Horizon 2 as much as I am. So there you go, guys. If you haven't already, go and check out a few of my new videos. Got a new Ford Capri video up, a little montage showcase one, which I'm quite proud of. Did take me quite a lot to do, so if you haven't seen it, go and watch it, and if you enjoy it, leave it a like. And until next video, guys, I'll see you all soon.